Hello, my friends. Can you hear me? Good evening. Howdy, howdy, G-Forces. So, I hope everyone's doing good. He's doing fine. Hey, to them, Carmen. How is life? So, let me see. Good evening. Falk Derici. We are here, back in the studio. We're looking at this beautiful printer here, the V100. I've been working hard to finish the build. This week really got it working finally after some adjustments from our last stream. Yeah, readjusted a couple of things. Belt tensioning was challenging a little bit, but I think I got it pretty well. And I did some initial tests. The Klipper firmware was a little bit of a headache. In the beginning I was having some homing issues with the, especially issues that might have come from the sensorless homing, but that has been fixed so far, and it's now homing. Z homing is now done with a BL touch. So I first of all I wanted to have sensorless homing for Z as well. That wasn't that was kind of a nightmare. Didn't really work. Yeah, so I added some things, a BL touch holder, a screen. So you can also see we have a nice Klipper screen here at the front now, which is yeah, which fits into the design pretty well, I would say. Hey, Tutum Carmen, thank you for coming over to Twitch. We have a couple of people now watching on Twitch. We have a couple of people watching on YouTube. My friends, take out your nozzles to earn your nozzles. It's good if you're going to the Twitch stream and watching from there, because if you're registered on Twitch as a Twitch user, then you can earn nozzles and you can spend them in future giveaways. So that's going to be the virtual currency that you can use to join any of our future giveaways. And that's why it's, if you're interested to, for example, to win a printer, last time we were here live on the stream, we were giving away a 3D printer, and people on Twitch are the ones that can participate by spending their virtual loyalty points, which are called nozzles, on the giveaways. So, and we're probably due to announce the next giveaway and enable it in the stream portal. So probably, if I have time, I will do it tonight, so you can see what we are giving away for the next month, basically in March. And yeah, what are we going to do today? Today we will do a few tests on this printer. My goal is first of all to record a video for the V100 Discord channel. So we're gonna post that specific video separately on YouTube and upload, put the link into the V100 Discord server, and also fill out the form. That means the serial number request form for the V100 3D printer. So in the end, I can get the serial number for this printer. And the requirements to get a serial number are pretty clear. You need to print a Benchy on the printer according to the speedboat racing rules, which we can go through in a second. And you have to do the print under 15 minutes, which I think is absolutely possible with this printer now. Should be doable. That's the only condition. You can always do a faster print later, but to get a serial number, you have to print the Benchy according to the rules in under 15 minutes. So I think it's absolutely something that we can do tonight. We're gonna upload the video so we can get the serial number. Only thing that we need, indeed, is we need some kind of stopwatch and put it in front of the printer. So we can show that we are actually recording for real and it's nothing faked. So that's what I'm also going to prepare in a second. What did I also test in the meanwhile? We'll have a look in a second on a couple of tests that I did, and we'll also do some more testing. But yeah, maybe let's get the serial number request out of the way. I think better we put it on. Probably have to disable the chat. I mean, this could work. Yeah, I think this is a good position here. So have the phone. Basically, we want to have proof that we are actually, we've done it in time and it was for real. So yeah, let's do that. Let's welcome everyone else on the chat. Screen enclosure looks really good in those colors. Yeah, I like the contrast, the bronze and the blue. We also have to make an important decision on some other colors tonight. And yeah, welcome Asker. Hi there. You're not there on Twitch yet, I see, but you could be. But let's take a look at quickly on a couple of things that I tested on this printer already. I'm going to show you maybe the best way to do it here. So I did a first layer test print, which came out not too bad. This was actually the first print that I've done. So this was kind of the test. Did I really level the bed correctly? Like, is the distance in all corners at least somewhat equal? And since we have a BL touch, still there is some compensation going on. So yeah, this looks pretty well. The only thing is that in one of the corners there was a little bit too little pressure, I guess. So the layers are a little separated here, and here they are pretty much very close together. There's no gap here, and there's a slight little, yeah, I was just saying they're not gluing together so much, but still I would say if you look at it from this perspective, it's pretty well still. It's a little bit thinner here, but that's actually a little, yeah, we could get a little bit closer. Anyways, then the second print was, I did a very slow Benchy print, but this is irrelevant. It was basically just see if the printer is doing something at all, but didn't stress it too much in terms of the speeds. And you probably have seen the short video from yesterday where I was trying to figure out what is the extrusion limit. So not the speed limit, but really how much filament per second, cubic millimeters per second can the hot end push together with these with the dual gear extruder, and certainly could have gone a little bit faster. This tensioner wasn't so much tightened yet, so I think we could probably push it a little bit harder, but you could also hear a little bit of the extruder here clicking. Still, we didn't have any issues here, so there's no visible issues with this print yet. And I think the last, or the highest speed that we reached until I stopped it, because I was like getting these clicking noises, was 36 cubic millimeter per second. So I think that is already pretty good, considering that this filament officially has a limit of 24 cubic millimeters. So this is high-speed PLA from reality. That means it's for printers like the K1, and that has an extrusion limit of 24. So at least officially the specs, and we pushed it to 36 something with this hot end. I think that's still pretty good. I'm aiming for an under 15 minutes Benchy for the first try. And I have also prepared some slicing profile. So the thing is that Matt, the printing nerd, he has done his tests with Cura, and he prepared also, or he's offering some Cura profiles, and he's claiming that the Cura profiles are actually faster. So Cura is supposed to create G-code that somehow makes the printer print faster, or I don't know what exactly that means. And this could be maybe some movements and some paths in the printing process that are more optimized and like gaining you some speed. And no, I didn't disable stealth job. I'm curious if is this helping in any way to make it print faster or more reliable, but you might be able to tell me. But I prepared this profile here that is like pushing the printer not to the limits yet, but it's already pushing it quite a lot. So I'm gonna move this over so we can see more of it. So let's have it a little bit more to the right, so we don't overlay it with the chat window. Here we go. So I think you can see it a bit better now. Why is it so slow, my friends? Why is it so slow? So what are the print settings that I'm currently using? So the print speeds are basically 600 millimeter per second, which is theoretical print speed, I would say, because if we consider the printer hammer and which is theoretically the print speed, but if we are looking at the extrusion of 35 cubic millimeters or 36 cubic millimeters per second, I think this print speed is a little bit lower. So so this is to be seen and to be tested if this is really something that we can reach if we really push the filament with 100% extrusion through the hot end. And acceleration is currently 20,000 millimeters per second, and for most of the parts, and then for some first layer and top surfaces and travel, it's 10,000. We could push it harder, but using these kind of settings, which are basically the still conservative, not too crazy, we will have some print time. Let's see how much we will get. So this is going for 13 minutes, 35 seconds is supposed to be the print time with this kind of settings. And we are adhering to the rules. So let me go through the settings so we can record this for the entry for the test. So welcome to the official serial number request for my V100 3D printer build. Doing this in a live stream, and this is the part that I'm submitting to the serial number request. First of all, I want to go through the print settings. We're using Orca Slicer, and just to demonstrate that we're not using something weird and something not allowed. So I have created a print profile for the layer height. So layer heights are going to be 0.25 millimeters, which is within the rules. Line width 0.5. We have a, let me see, I think there is nothing else interesting here. What affects the Benchy rules? Here we go with the next one. We have 2 wall loops as required. We also go with 3 top shell layers. We go with 3 bottom layers. We have 10% sparse infill, which is also allowed. And yeah, speed settings are basically just still conservative, 600. First layer is quite slow with 100. And we have around about 20,000 millimeter per second acceleration and 10,000 for the first layer on top surface. So like still probably will get some quite good quality out of this. Yeah, no support, no brim and anything. That's it. Now we are going to look at the printer quickly. This is my V100 and we are also recording timer. However, this is the printer. We don't want to do anything in terms of saving. So this is the Z100. We'll start the timer as soon as we are getting the first layer of the Benchy. We'll not start the timer earlier. And I will now send over the print files. I'm gonna go back here in this program and we're going to send the print file to the printer, and here we go. So I'm gonna wait until the printer warms up and then we'll start the timer as soon as the initial warm-up is done. One thing that I discovered with the screen, which is a little bit of, I don't know why this is happening actually. The screen seems to be having an issue in the lower right corner, that it sometimes just clicks. Basically, it looks like it's something is clicking or touching the lower right corner here. I hope to fix that problem. Maybe it is the case, maybe something is pushing in the lower right corner, but yeah, this is something I still have to investigate why this is happening. We are using Hyper PLA from Creality. Is there anything else I want to mention here? I think, yeah, the nozzle, maybe some details about that. Someone was asking this in the chat. I'm using a Rapido UHF hot end, if I'm not saying this the wrong name. Yeah, it's the Rapido Plus UHF Plus hot end. And we have a special, I think it's a CHT nozzle, how it's called. So this is a nozzle that has this inner split in the filament path. So it's basically splitting the filament, melting it into 3 different channels, and then combining the filament back again at the tip. So it's supposed to be giving you a higher flow rate, which I didn't yet fully go to the limit with, but this is supposed to be helping to print even faster. So we're still waiting for the print bed to heat up. Okay, so what's the temperature saying? How much do we have at the moment? Heating up 55. Okay, we're almost there. Interesting enough, the screen is now still on the start page of the print. Sometimes it jumps away and goes into the settings because of this touch screen problem. Okay, so we're now heating up the hot end. And I can tell you, this printer is once it starts printing, this can get very scary in terms of how crazy the movements are and how much the shaking is going to be. So be prepared that this printer is gonna be pushing super hard already with the 20,000 millimeter per second. It's already shaking quite a lot, and for me it's still hard to imagine when we push it even harder how much shake we're gonna get. We probably have to put something, some kind of rubber pad under the printer to prevent the printer from jumping off the table. But yeah, if in the worst case I'm gonna just hold it, that it's not jumping off. Because we have a slippery surface here where the printer is on, so it's probably very easy to move it around, right? Good. Filament coming out. Homing. I'm personally super curious to see the new version, the 2.0, and what are the changes, because I already realized that some of the limitations of this printers are definitely the size of the print bed compared to the printer's total size. So it is only 150 millimeters in each direction, and if you consider the volume of the printer itself, it is I would say this is quite a small print volume for such a huge frame, and I think that's what Matt is also working on really hard, is to get more print volume out of a comparable printer frame size, and we should start any moment. Now, timer is running. And we should probably check if we can get a little bit closer to the printer. Maybe like this, so we can see a little bit more. So I think this is good. Maybe you can set the focus to the Benchy a little bit better. Can we? Not sure. Is it working? Yeah, it seems to be working. So I'm really curious. Oh my goodness. This is really quite scary, honestly. I hope nothing's going to go wrong with this printer during this test. And my phone is hopefully not falling from the table. Just need to be sure that we're not losing the timer. Oh my goodness. And it's pretty loud, so I have to admit that probably some of the plastic, I think it's probably the belt tensioners, which do make some noise. I didn't yet figure out what's making the most noise here, but I guess since I probably here's a moment I realized this was my first print. Some of the print layers, printer is slowing down a little bit, even though I probably did, at least I hope that I did set most of the settings correctly. But it seems that some of the settings in the slicer make it slow down. I don't know for what kind of type of layer or kind of section slows it down. But yeah, anyways, looks good. And it's I think the most important thing is that the end result is going to be recognizable still as a Benchy. So the infill is 10%. That's within the Speed Benchy rules. We could reduce it even more, right? So we could push it faster, but then it's outside of the rules, and we wouldn't be allowed to request a serial number with this. With 3 minutes into the print, pretty good. We're doing good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, bolting down the printer maybe. I think what would help, we can definitely get. I have one spare rubber pad, which I'm normally putting under my under any printer that I have. These are normally used for washing machines and tumblers to make them a little bit more silent and to prevent them from jumping through the room. And this is pretty effective, so it's something that I can definitely get from the other room, and we can put it on underneath the printer. Yeah, so far looking good. It's even making your bench shake. Yeah, it's surprisingly fast, I would say. And if you imagine, this is like the record for the sprinter is I think under 5 minutes. So I don't know what the fastest sprint yet was on the sprinter, but it's definitely something around 5 minutes for the Benchy. However, I didn't see the pictures of those Benchies, if they are still like, what kind of quality you will get if you push it to 5 minutes. Because this is, honestly, this is the expensive hot end combination, which is really the expensive hot end with even a faster nozzle. And I imagine the only way to make it even faster and even pushing more filament through is replacing it with a direct drive. So this is actually, if you didn't know, this is a Bowden extruder, right? So it's not direct drive. But if you can imagine that if you would replace it with a direct drive, it would probably be able to push even harder. Yeah, 3 minutes. Okay, I didn't know that he already did a 3-minute Benchy. I think we're pretty good in time. We're gonna make it. We're gonna definitely make it under 15 minutes. That's my prediction here. I think my serial numbers should be under 50. So there's still under 50 printers that have been made, or at least which people have sent for serial number request. I think last time I checked was 46 or something. How's the last serial number? Yeah, we should be right under 50 or something. I hope I can get a number under 50, which would be nice. It's still like, still nice. It's probably, if you look at warrants, that's like, I don't know how many warrants have been built already, but it's only a couple of thousand. 52, oh my goodness. Oh, it couldn't, oh, too late. Oh my goodness. I was looking yesterday. Maybe a couple of people have finished their builds as well. A whale must have hit that Benchy. Yeah, there's some artifact maybe. Most likely this is a cooling issue. If you look closer, it's the bow of the Benchy, and these kind of issues are all cooling related. The topic here is, the problem is that I had to disable auto cooling for the print to become faster. Normally what the slicer software does, it slows down the print if it realizes that the print speed is too much for the filament to cool down. But I disabled that obviously because I wanted to maximum speed, and that is a huge difference in timing. Also disabled Z-hop. And yeah, I but think that the cooling problems are mainly yeah, because the filament cannot cool down fast enough. And you would normally get better results if you had more time to print. We should maybe, we can try increasing the print temperature a little bit. Go to 230 instead of 220, maybe a little bit too low. The filament here, this Hyper PLA is quite sensitive to printing temperature, so it's surprising how much of a difference it was when I printed the extrusion limit test, going from 220 to 230. And it was surprisingly a lot faster. Also 10 degrees in filament temperature make a lot of that difference. Definitely worth trying out and pushing the filament temperature higher, especially if you want to really accelerate and push it to the limits. We definitely have to go over the official limits of the filament, so 230, 235. Okay, my phone wants to go to sleep. But we don't want. I think we're still doing well. Benchy's coming out actually not so bad. Yeah, 10 minutes. I think we could really be under 15. It should be absolutely doable. But it's going to be close. I think it's not too much under 15 actually. My fastest Benchy is just under 10 minutes. Didn't record it, so no serial yet. Yeah, I mean, should definitely record it and send it, send the form. One thing I definitely have to do is cable management. Making a nice cable tree here behind the printer, putting everything together in a nice tube is definitely something I have to do still. Yeah, but it's a little bit of cosmetics to make it finally really looking good. The question that I have, of course, is what should we do with the printer next? And I definitely want to see what version 2.0 brings in terms of changes as soon as it's available. So also really I'm super curious to learn what can I reuse from this printer in terms of the hardware, what is going to be replaced. I hope that the new version will make it that we can reuse the expensive linear bearings, because I think that was honestly kind of quite a large investment compared to all of the rest of the parts. I think that bearings kit with the is around about 60 euros, and yeah, it would be actually quite a disappointment if we had to get everything new from scratch. So let's see. Well, getting there. "12 minutes 30 seconds. Let's see. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But it's gonna be close. We're still printing the roof of the Benchy, but we're almost done. Yeah, I think we need to push the printer even a lot harder for the next Benchy. But again, for the submission serial number request, I think it should be good. Okay, well, the roof is almost done. We're getting to the chimney in a second. Now we're like last stretch printing. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Definitely gonna make it. Plenty of time. Yeah, last couple of layers now. And we probably have 1 minute left. Okay. 14 minutes. 14 minutes, my friends. So here we go. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Definitely some cooling issues here, maybe also some little bit of under extrusion. I've cranked up the temperature a little bit in the upper layers, so I think I was a little too low. Initially printed at 220 and then went up to 230 with the ultra hyper PLA. But personally I would say we can probably push it even more and get a better result by increasing print temperatures and tuning some of the settings. But that's my serial number request for the D100. Okay, that is that. That's the part of this video that I'm going to upload. I see. 53 official printers now, so I have to be fast. Stay in the 50s. But yeah, gonna cut the video tomorrow and in the morning, and I will upload it, so it's probably gonna be fine. Let's see how many other submissions there will be, and because I suppose that this version of the printer, maybe not so many more people are gonna build it, and a lot of people will probably wait for 2.0 and then start building the 2.0. But that's just a guess from my end. I think, yeah, probably a lot of people are still having the parts in the basement and have to build the printer and I'll wait, like kind of delay the printer. Yeah. So what I want to do now is give you a walkthrough of this printer, what parts we have used and what kind of modifications have been done. Just to show you a little bit better what, like if you get it, if you start building this printer, what are the defaults and what are the changes. And then we're gonna always look back to the chat, answering some questions. So first of all, the frame. I want to start with the frame. The frame is mostly original. There is a couple of modifications that you can get for the frame, which I would still consider to be optional. For example, here these front braces. Normally they are just not there. There's nothing here. There is just the vertical rods that are running behind here. So these are essentially holding the frame, or yeah, supporting the frame. And from a couple of sources I heard that since this printer is printing so fast, it might happen that it will move a little bit up and down because the rods are not like really so well fixed in place, and that's why this frame brace is really holding the whole part here, these two parts in a specified distance, so it's not going to move. That's one change. And the second, I would say most obvious change is that we have an electronics cover here. Normally this section here is completely open, and if you look back in my streams from the last couple of weeks, there wasn't anything here that was covering the electronics section, and the power supply was openly mounted in this inner section. The fan is normally pointing upwards, and the problem that I see there is that it's gonna, like, basically everything that falls into it is gonna be directly falling into the fan and also potentially into the electronics. At some point could be blocking the fan, and that's why things are now under the printer. What I'm going to do here is, for showing you the rest, I'm going to unload the filament, and yeah, the next obvious change is the screen. Normally this printer doesn't have by default doesn't have a screen. It's usually just controlled over Wi-Fi, which is potentially okay. You don't need that. And Benchy as a serial number. Yeah, we need a new board. We'll need a Kraken and believe additional 3 motor set assembly. Definitely there's going to be a different mainboard for the 2.0, because the new printer is going to have, I think it has three motors for the lead screws, and they are going to be running independently, which definitely will give us the advantage that we can level the bed just using the 3 screws. So unloading filament right now. And yeah, the screen is something that I added because I ordered it together with the Victory Tech Pi, which we'll take a look at in a second, which is essentially also another change compared to the official recommendation. But we're gonna take a look at the electronics in a second. Another change that is not different from the original, but it is the more expensive hot end. So the hot end, can move that forward. So the hot end is usually a clone. I think it's called CHT or something like that. So it's a yeah, it's a high-speed hot end, but this is the, as I said, the Rapido UHF Plus hot end, so the more expensive variant that is also part of the official print file. So all of the setup here is still stock, but it's meant to be for the Rapido Plus. And yeah, I mean, this couple of small changes, a little bit of a different belt tensioner here, which gives a little bit more freedom to the bearings that are running in these corners that are like basically guiding the belts around the corner. There's a little bit more freedom with these modified belt tensioners. That's a minor thing. What else? At the back we have the extruder, which is a BMG's clone. Basically very default, like something very basic. You could also reuse this for a direct drive, but it's super heavyweight. So if you would go for a direct drive on this printer, you'll probably not use this kind of setup here. The motor is quite large. So you're probably gonna get a pancake motor or a something that's normally used on the Vrones. So the round version, which is much smaller, and also of course a much smaller extruder. And then it could be used for direct drive. I wouldn't use this kind of setup for direct drive. Done it for my Ender 3. Basically reused this kind of setup here with, I think, just a little bit of a smaller stepper motor. Worked quite well for me on the Ender 3, but it's still a lot heavier. Then one thing that is absolutely something that I can highly recommend if you do custom 3D printer builds is to get, do not use the power cable and screw it directly to the power supply terminals, but instead I decided to go with this socket here, which is a nice switch, and you can use a computer power cable as with every other 3D printer that you might have. Still, the power, like the cable, yeah, needs to be cleaned up a bit. We need to use zip ties and fix stuff together. That's still to do, but it's mainly this section here which I need to, yeah, cram together. Then we have these different cable slots here, which are better, I think, because you can always remove the cable easily because there is a little gap here. The original versions would require you to always unscrew everything and then screw it back on, which I don't think it's very practical. And then finally we'll have a Beal touch sensor here behind the hot end, which has a special mount here, and that's also a custom part from which was posted also on the Discord. Then we take a look at the bottom electronics section here. That's basically different because now the power supply is pointing down, and then here we see the socket is connected, and we have also crimped connectors. So like this is a pretty safe setup. You can't really touch anything main power related. Then the mainboard is as it was originally suggested. It's the SKR Pico. The only limitation that I see with this mainboard, and that's probably also the reason why it's going to be different mainboard for the 2.0, it only has 4 stepper motors, drivers, and that doesn't give us the opportunity to have independent Z-axis motors. So there's 2 connectors here, which is good because we can now connect like both motors to the mainboard, but they cannot be driven independently. That means we cannot use kind of a Z adjustment leveling. Auto leveling for Z. Tilt is not possible. That requires definitely 2 independent motors. And for the new version, there's going to be 3 motors. So you need 3 stepper drivers for 3 independent motors. And then you can do the bed leveling basically just with the lead screws. So we don't need to do any leveling anymore with any kind of manual screws. Then we have for the Klipper related things, we have a Benchy Pi 1.2. That's definitely different from the recommendation. There was originally a Banana Pi recommended. I chose this one because I have already some experience on my Sovol SV06 and I had good experience using this mainboard. It's pretty cheap. A Raspberry Pi clone, and during the price search for the Raspberry Pi, now it's a little bit relaxed, but during the extremely high price surge of the Raspberry Pi last year, this was the cheapest option that I could find that is very promising. I think 35 euros still, it's very affordable, and there's pre-configured images with Linux and Klipper already installed, and you can customize a lot of stuff. And one of the other advantages with this board is it has a direct power terminal, so you can really feed the power from the power supply in here. You don't need a USB power supply, and a couple of other things, some other connectors that you normally don't find on a Raspberry Pi. For example, I think there's RGB LED connector, that's an optional upgrade, and you have an infrared beam here, which you could theoretically use to make some kind of remote control if you want to use this as a media center. And then you also have I think special connectors for, what was it, I think the Voron specific bus. I forgot the name, honestly. I was looking in it yesterday, but they're like, basically there is, how's it called? The bus system that's used on Vorons. You can basically just connect your Voron hot end bus directly to this mainboard and drive the stepper drivers on the hot end of the Voron directly from the mainboard here, from the Benchy Pi. And yeah, that's also quite unique because other boards don't have that. And then we have a little flat cable here going to the screen, which is the TFT35, also from Benchy. Yeah, that's it about the electronic section. see, CAN bus, yeah. I remember it was CAN bus. So the CAN bus interface is also on the Big3Tech Pi, which is probably a nice advantage if you want to use that in any other build that involves CAN bus. That's it about the whole construction differences from the original. I hope that overview is helpful. 4 motors for the X and Y, so there will be 8 motors on the V2. Oh my goodness, so this is driving even faster, I suppose. If it's using 4 X and Y motors, sounds like pretty powerful. Yeah. You should print that crosslink badge for the printer. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, maybe one detail that I didn't mention here yet is that the whole frame has been printed in NobuFil ABS, and I don't want to forget to thank my sponsor here, because they have sent me a couple of filament spools for free, and they were really kind enough to sponsor this printer build with free filament that they've been sending me. I've been posting a lot about it, and that's why I also put their logo on here to really want to say thank you NobuFil guys. Really like the BE filament. It's an ABS filament that is has one huge advantage that I see compared to other ABS materials. It is less likely to warp. So if you're printing at least not the biggest parts, but like average size parts that are around about 10 centimeters in each direction, you will have you have a higher chance of printing this without an enclosure. So it can potentially be used on printers without enclosure. But I'm still using it only with an enclosure, because all of the parts that I've been printing for this build, for example, are pretty large, and that's where you still need an enclosure. So I think the selling point is, yes, you could potentially print it without enclosure. I would still recommend using an enclosure if you have one. What I really like about these type of filaments is the color choices that you have. So you have like amazing color choices, like these bronze and gold filaments and copper filaments, which are, I would say, for ABS pretty nice looking filaments. And one of the other things that I really like, this is all made from recycled industrial plastic. So it's really kind of a sustainable way to recycle filament into recycled plastic into 3D printing filament. That's what I also appreciate a lot about this type of stuff. And yeah, thanks to NobuFil. So, are there any more questions about this printer? Because what I'm gonna do otherwise is we're gonna put this printer at least for the next foreseeable future, I'm gonna put it on my shelf here and do some other tests, but still I'm going to create I still like Orca Slicer a lot, so what I will do, I will create at least 2 alternative Orca Slicer profiles and publish them here alongside with the videos that I did so far. So if anyone is interested to use the Orca Slicer with this printer, you can download the profiles. So that's that's one thing that I want to offer you if you are at any time interested. But otherwise, it's super easy to create a custom profile for this printer, because it has just some very basic setup steps, and Orca Slicers make it really super easy. The V100, yeah, why is it called 100,000 acceleration? That's right. Potentially we can push it that high. But again, I think before I push this even harder, I would definitely put some rubber material underneath it, so it doesn't jump around so much. And then we can do some more testing. Tutum Carmen was requesting us that we print a hammer, right? So why don't we just do that, right? Should we print a hammer? So we should print a hammer on this printer. Switch on back again. And let's find something to print for the rest of the stream. So we have maybe a nice looking hammer coming out of this printer. What do you think about this? Just a general hammer. I was gonna say you need to tame the vibration before pushing it harder. Yeah, we definitely need, I think we need to put something under the printer so we have less, first of all, less noise and then also less vibrations. I will take one of these rubber pads here we have here in the studio, and then we want to put it under the okay, so what I was saying last time before we start the print, so I'm going to switch it off again. My plan for tonight was also we're going to do a little bit of a surprise giveaway. Yes, we're going to do a giveaway tonight. So are you as excited? Now seriously, last time we discussed that I would just do a kind of a little bit of a package where I'm gonna put some of the things in that I'm not using. So I'm gonna basically give you all my crap. Now seriously, we're gonna find a few things that are pretty useful, and we're gonna put them in a little package as a little surprise giveaway. So it's treats for you tonight. Okay, switching back on. Probably need to clean the initial stripe here that has been printed on the side. Get it off. Cleaning this up. Okay, that's a good point. We have another I would say silent partner in this project, which is Big Tree Tech. Nothing officially agreed, but using a lot of the Big Tree Tech hardware. My price, my price from the last one is still in the mail. Yeah, it's underway. It's going. I don't know when it's gonna be shipped. Hope you're gonna get it soon, Alexander. So Alexander has been winning the has won the last giveaway, and let's see. I think this was the text that we were using for the giveaway. I'm gonna prepare a new giveaway. Surprise box. I'm gonna just write the giveaway description for you so you can start entering. And I'm gonna put it live so you can start entering. And then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna put in the surprise box. So I'm just gonna check what we do. Check ticket cost 1, no limit. I think that should be it. Create and start. Okay. So we have a giveaway going. And the giveaway is currently running on Twitch. So if you go on Twitch, you can hit exclamation mark giveaway, and you will see how to enter. And that's the link to the giveaway. That's basically just a new link, surprise box for tonight. And you can enter with by hitting basically ticket, exclamation mark ticket, and then the number of tickets you want to spend. And if you want to know how many nozzles you have to spend, you can always hit nozzles. And you can see, okay, you have X amount of nozzles to spend. What's taking so long with my one? Oh my goodness. Don't say that too loud, because I hear that some printers are going to be forbidden. I don't know, there's stuff going on, right? Countries are thinking about forbidding 3D printers or regulating 3D printing. So because I don't know, they consider it to be being used for creating weapons and stuff. And I think that is, I don't know what I should say about that. I don't like this, because I mean, in the first place, I don't think that it's good that people are using 3D printers to make weapons, but you can't probably prevent it unless you do it. You start regulating what software in printers should be able to do, and maybe you need to some printer manufacturers will probably go that path and prevent and try to detect what you are printing and figuring out what the thing looks like, and then is it a weapon or not, and then trying to prevent it that way. But yeah, if you go the open source path, what can anyone do? Right? Nothing can be done against it, I guess. So we're going to print a hammer. First of all, probably have to scale it down so we can print it, and we can probably also have to orient in a way that makes sense, because this doesn't make sense actually. It doesn't make sense to print it this way. I think we should. I don't know if this is the most ideal hammer that we could print. Maybe there's a better. Now that I see it, I think it's probably a lot of wasted material. So maybe there is one that can be printed laying on the side. I would prefer that more. So maybe we can find one that is more like a square. And it can be printed laying, so we don't have to waste so much material with supports and stuff. Tor's hammer. I see. What can we do? What should we do? This looks very simple, but it's also a little bit too simplistic. This one is probably just the top hat. This actually looks nice, and I'm not sure if this one consists of multiple pieces. Might be, yeah, maybe nice, but we don't want that. We want one piece hammer. This looks also like 2 pieces or something. No, I mean, we want to print a hammer. We don't want to split it, and maybe we can find one that is kind of designed that it can be printed in one piece. I mean, this one is obviously should work. I don't know, but this one here looks doable. The Tor's hammer looks like it's from multiple pieces. Maybe this one, super simple side profile. Looks like a profile, and that has been extruded, right? Designed to be functional and easy to print. What do you think about this one? It looks super simple. This looks ugly, honestly. It looks very ugly. Isn't there any nicer dice hammer? Is this one piece? No, it's not a one piece. And it's not a real hammer. So I think I'm going back to this other version here. Yeah, maybe then just let's have a look. Can we make this work? Lay it down, and we probably need tons of support. I don't like that. We can try to rotate it and see if this makes more sense. Maybe this way. Still support required, I guess, but maybe not so much. And then now we scale it a little bit down. And scale it down. So we have I think this is fine. I mean, I don't want to do too much and print for hours. So we need a little bit of support here. And we should probably use tree support. Let's see how it comes out. Oh, tree support could work. And print time is 26 minutes, which is kind of optimistic, but we can try. I mean, let's just go for it. Let's go for 26 minutes. We're using the same profile as for the Benchy, so we're supposedly to be printing quite fast. The tiny 100 hammer. Okay, so you wanted to have a hammer, Tutankhamun. This was your kind of request. So what do we do? Let's come actually to what do we do? What do we put into the surprise box? So I was thinking of a couple of things, which are, first of all, I have something here that I think could be rather useful if you have a workshop. But I've got it. It was a little present from someone, and I figured I'm probably not going to use it, but maybe. This is my first entrance into the surprise box. It's a universal socket adapter, so you can use it to screw in and tighten anything hex with basically one tool. So you can just put it on your usual wrench, and then you can basically screw in anything in different sizes, and it's like a universal socket. So you don't have to have tons of different heads for your wrench, but it's basically adaptable to different sizes of hex, nuts, and bolts. So this is my first entrance. We probably need some kind of box where we put our stuff in. Let's have a little maybe a filament box where we can put in the stuff. Let's take one of the NovoFil ones, because they are quite nice in terms of the size and also the function. So I'm gonna give you, first of all, I'm gonna give you NovoFil sticker. I'm gonna have a socket. First thing that fits in this little box here. And why I'm also choosing this size of box is because this is the size of box that you can ship worldwide for lower cost. It's still a really nice size. What else should we put into the box? I think was next idea that I had. I just need to check if it's still complete. Next thing I'm going to put in the box is a Benchy Tech smart filament sensor, right? So if you want a filament sensor for your 3D printer, that's going to be in the box. I'm going to put that into the box, right? Smart filament sensor. It's still version 1, so I still had a couple of these smart filament sensor from Benchy Tech. Okay. And the printer is starting. Looks like. Let's. Now we can actually change the perspective a little bit. Come a little closer. Okay, what else? What else? Few million in cash. Ah, come on. I see no excitement from your side, right? A smart filament sensor, but don't you want that? I mean, with a socket, we have a smart filament sensor. Okay, so maybe I can get you a little bit more excited. A little bit more excited is I'm gonna put into the box, gonna put in this little box. Gonna give you this little box. What's in this little box? Maybe you wanna guess what is in the little box here before I put it into the surprise package. What could be in this? Chat. What's in here? Ah, not quite. Not quite. Not quite. No. Give it 10 more seconds. Okay, Brian was right. Check it out. It's a Benchy Tech Pi 1.2. I had to get all the good stuff here with the little ducky and the Benchy Tech Pi cooler, like all the cables that you need. So Benchy Tech Pi 1.2. Going into the surprise package. Yeah, there's not going to be so much about surprise anymore, I guess. Well, if we put in all the stuff. Come on, it should fit. Okay, it's fitting. So we have a little more space left here. We left a little cavity here in the package left. So we like probably a little corner is still left. And I think I'm gonna put in a surprise that I'm not gonna show you. Something in mind. This little thing is going in. Not gonna tell you what it is, but it's a nice little utility that I got recently. Also, it was a nice present from another famous person. And I was thinking about this one here. Yeah, this one goes also in. And we have another little package here that goes into the surprise box. And I think that's an exciting, all these things here are pretty nice. And you can, it's almost fitting. Almost. Well, we can make it work. We can make it work. Hopefully. Need to see, I need a little bit of a different hole for this. Are we printing? That is a good question. I think we're not. Something's wrong with. We don't have filament. We did remove the filament for showing you the stuff, and I forgot to feed the filament. But we're gonna restart the print. No problem. Probably gonna use the gray one. I think I don't have enough blue filament anyways for this print. We were already pretty much close to the end of the spool. So we're going to use gray Hyper PLA. Okay. So disadvantage of these cardboard spools is that they are sometimes really not very straight in terms of the outside corner. So let's push this one in, load the new filament. And yeah, main menu, come on, give me the load function. Yes. And another thing that I wanted to make sure in the slicer program last time, I kind of missed why it wasn't using the right printing temperature. So I had it set to 230 and for some reason it was printing at 220. I don't know why exactly. So I was thinking that normally it should be at 230 degrees. So I think we should have filament coming out anytime. Now, there we go. Hyper PLA. Okay, big enough, good enough. Oh. I think for whatever reason, the button for, I think that is something that is a little bit of a problem with this screen, that it has this kind of weird touch problem where it is reacting to some ghosting. I don't know what's happening with the touchscreen. Maybe it has a fault, or it is because of this little case that's pushing on the corner of the screen, or maybe you're causing it. Maybe it's also some kind of static electricity that's kind of created through the plastic around. I don't know. It seems that there is a little bit of a problem, that the screen is doing something that's unattended. I have no idea why this happens, honestly. So now we have a double load cup. But yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, thank you to the Electronics Hub. Yeah, that has been helpful already for these kind of cases. But again, I don't quite understand why the screen is doing this. It's kind of weird. Should normally not happen, but yeah, probably you can fix it. So sometimes this happens, sometimes it's not. So we can print now from the screen. Let's print our hammer. Let's go. I think that's why I wanted the touchscreen. I think it's still pretty nice and usable. It's making the usage of the printer so much more convenient. So, last piece that goes into the surprise package. And we are done. I would say personally, I think that the package worth is, let me just quickly think about it. Probably it's around about $100 or something. It's realistic. Yeah, not quite, maybe just under. But yeah, gonna give away this surprise package here at the end of the stream to one of you. So the only thing that you have to do is basically just fill out, basically just enter with the nozzles that you earn through watching the live stream. And after we have done the little hammer print here, I guess, it's gonna be time to do this. I will open up the window a little bit because this filament stinks. I don't like it. I mean, I appreciate that Creality sent me this for the K1 testing, but still has this kind of thing. It's a little bit smelling a little bit, stinking a little bit. Nothing serious, but it's still, you can still very much smell it, and it's different than other materials that I had so far. Victutech are resistive, sensitive to the corner posture of the housing, and they need to be calibrated. The question is, how do we do that? How does the calibration work? Maybe you need to figure that out. Maybe it's really something that is, or the case that has, like, that I've been using. So this case needs to be, there needs to be a bigger opening for the screen. So maybe that needs to be changed. That there is no touch point between the screen and the cover. So I'm curious if this is something that can be done easily, or if it's just a calibration topic. But I would be interested if you know more about the calibration process for the screen. If that's something that I could figure out just by reading some documents from Victutech, or if it's in the screen menu. Really? But it's like, what is the screen menu? The screen menu, I mean, do you mean the, currently what of course there's the screen menu of Klipper, but is there actually also a screen menu for outside of Klipper that I can reach with a button or something? I don't know if this, if there's anything. I think we have completely covered the screen, so there's nothing, the button that I can see here. Probably I need to unscrew this whole thing and figure out. There's a calibration option with Marlin. I don't know. But there is probably one button on the screen back panel that can be pushed to enable the calibration, right? So Victutech TFT35 SPI calibration. Touch calibration. It's actually a piece of software. I see. So you can load this software to your Victutech Pi and then run the input calibrator. I see. I see. So there's going to be some kind of cross appearing on the screen, and then you can touch it and touch every corner, and that's supposed to calibrate the preciseness of the touch. I'm not sure if this is going to fix our problem with the ghost touches, but yeah, maybe this really the case is the problem that it doesn't have to, like, it shouldn't touch the screen in any corner. So we need to widen up the frame so there's a little gap. I would ideally have some kind of gap around the screen that nothing touches the screen. But yeah, it can be done. My screen is different, older version. It has a rotary encoder and I can access the calibration from there. But it's probably not a touch screen then, is it? Is it a touchscreen with a rotary encoder? Does something like that exist? I don't remember. Okay, so let's check out how many entrances we have already to the giveaway. There's 3 people who have put nozzles into the giveaway yet. I think you should use the opportunity now to send your ticket command. It is a V2.1 actually. I see. So you're entering your stuff, entering the nozzles. I also wanted to ask you something. Tickets, Max, not tickets, Max. I also wanted to start a little bit of a gambling game. No, not really gambling, but I wanted to start like kind of a meta game in chat with you that basically you can play while you're watching. So if you're bored during the live stream, you can play that little meta game. And the purpose of the meta game is basically just being a meta game and nothing else. So there's nothing to be won or something. And in the meta game, you can basically also like you will get some points. Same way you get the nozzles through watching, but the meta game. I'm looking for some kind of topic that we can use for the meta game. So you can basically just say once you enter your points in the metagame, there's going to be some kind of mechanism in behind, and there's going to be some winners. And I think I was thinking about some kind of funny topic where we can also have some interesting memes going on and stuff. So that's what I'm currently thinking about. I'm probably just going to prepare it for the next live stream, and then you just see it, and you can just use it if you want. So the hammer is coming into is getting into shape. We're still printing a lot of supports now, but I think we're gonna get to the grip in a second. The printer is still doing well here. You can probably go a little bit closer. Much. But I think what really helped is this rubber mat here is definitely helping a lot to dampen the vibrations from the printer. It's not moving anywhere and it's pretty silent actually. Although it's printing same speed as for the Benchy. It's definitely much more silent than before. So I imagine if we had a kind of rubber feet for the printer, we can easily cut out little squares from this rubber pad here and just glue them to the bottom of the printer feet, and that would already help. Low screw in the right corner. I know what you mean. Okay. In my shelf probably. Okay, so while this is printing, probably want to tell you a little bit about this box here. It's already waiting on my shelf. My desk is shaking, you see that? The camera is shaking a lot. Camera is shaking, oh my goodness. So this box here, Voron V0.2S1 A+ revision A+ is my next best custom printer that I'm going to build. And that's why I need your help a little bit with the color choice, because we have a gray frame for this printer, so it's base gray. I don't know yet exactly how dark the frame's gonna be. I'm gonna do a little bit of an unboxing next week, so we can take a look at the frame color, and then but I still would want to figure out what kind of color I want to use for the parts, for the 3D printed parts. I'm definitely gonna use the Novofill ABS-X again. We have a couple of different color choices here. First of all, we have Astro Gray, which is kind of a dark gray material. This is the Astro Gray, so I think that it's going to be quite similar to the frame parts. And then we have a few other colors that I still like a lot. We have the copper. We have Astro Red, which is, it looks like, you can't see it at the moment, it's really hard to see, but we would have to print some sample prints. It is red with some glitter in it, so it's probably best if I print a couple of test pieces. Then we have Astro Black as well, which is also black with some kind of shiny little piece, shiny little glitter materials in it. And I'm also looking into a couple of other colors, so maybe we want to check that out. Next step for me is I'm going to print a couple of Voron parts using these different ABS colors. We also do the unboxing. I'm gonna do the unboxing of the printer frame next week. Probably that's gonna be not live, but it's gonna be a video that I'm uploading, showing all of the different parts in the kit, and then I will show you different colors. I'm probably gonna use the same printed part for Voron printer, maybe probably some kind of I don't know, hard end cover or something, and then you can help me a little bit with choosing a good color combination that we want to use here. Use all the colors, it's the way forward. I think I want to come down to 2 colors that are like working well together with the frame color. We're gonna have like one main color and then an accent color that should like basically make the printer look interesting, right? You gotta assemble it with a hammer. Yeah? Thinking about stopping the print if you want me to use this hammer. Maybe I shouldn't print the hammer in the first place. You have seen my choice for my 1V100, all the colors. I see. Yeah, I wouldn't go that colorful for my Voron printer. I would want something more decent in a way that's more, I would say, more technical looking. I must say this one I also like a lot. I still have a couple of bronze filament left, but I definitely want to go with a different color combination. Not decent, I've said, like not so technical, right? Not so serious. Yours is not so serious as the one that I would probably print. I didn't want to diminish your printer. I would just say it's not a color combination that I personally would use. I probably would want to go for something like more settled. Let's see. Don't take it too serious. Industrial look. It's maybe then just industrial look is the right term. Yeah, industrial look is the right thing. My Voron would be eye burning. Yeah, maybe. I agree. I can join in with the printer, right? I can also do this. Nice. Yeah, but we're moving forward, right? Making progress. How much time do we have left with the print? We have already 72% done. We have 11 minutes left to print. And I think that's still quite impressive, right? We think about it, how fast we can get results from this kind of printer. It is very small, I have to admit. The build volume isn't very great, but if you need something small very quickly, I think that's the right printer, right? It can absolutely do it. You can push it even more. It prints candy. It looks like it prints candy. Yeah? Makes interesting noises now. Yeah, spline, I think there is a, you're talking about the Ender 3 bed size, or even bigger. There's a couple of mods now on the Discord channel that go into the direction of using an Ender 3 bed or even bigger, and modifying the printer frame so it can definitely be printing larger parts. But I think the limitation in the printer height is still caused by the length of all of the rest of the parts, right? The lead screws and also the rods that are going to be the limiting factors in the end, right? Using Anycube Reviver bed, okay, yeah, see. Makes sense. So we still have how many minutes to go? 6 minutes, at least from the slicer perspective, but I think it's going to be taking a little bit longer, and I see we have a little bit, I don't know, maybe we have a couple of under extrusion going on. So the reason is not entirely clear to me, honestly. What is the flow rate? I mean, we're kind of going with a very high flow rate. You can probably limit the, I'm not saying like acceleration is the problem, but it's probably the print speed in the end. The flow rate is kind of the factor that we should have limited in the slicer program. So we should have set some limits that regarding the filament. I'm gonna double check what is set there. Yeah, the problem is that the filament flow rate limitation should be done in the slicer program, and from these crazy tests so far, I've set the limit to 200 cubic millimeters, so that there's essentially no limit. That's probably the reason why the printer is now struggling with an under extrusion, because it's trying to print at, I don't know, 50, 60 cubic millimeters per second, which is not possible for the filament. So I think the only way to, I mean, I don't want to stop it now, but that's definitely something that you need to do in your in your slicer program, even though that's what I was saying in the beginning, even though the printer can potentially print at 600 millimeters per second, the limit's not the printer's movement speed, but the limit is the melting speed of the hot end. Yeah. And if you don't limit the flow rate in the material settings, it's just gonna go crazy like it's now. It's definitely printing some parts of the, like especially the long movements, the side parts. It is definitely going too fast because the extrusion flow rate cannot keep up with the print speed. And although I think the temperature is currently, I'm wondering why it's still 220. Right? That's also one thing that I don't understand, because I set the material print temperatures to 230 and it's still using 220 for some reason. This is interesting. I can set it higher manually in main sale to push it higher, but even though the material in the Orca slicer is set to a higher print temperature and it's still not doing it. It's just going 10 degrees lower, which is interesting. So see, I have done some settings here with the Hyper PLA, which is this page here. And this wasn't essentially, this was no limit. It needs to be limited. And the nozzle temperature is 230. Interesting, it's effectively printing to 20. So maybe something's not right with the initial startup G code. The heat up code for the printer is probably not working. And so we probably need to set it to, probably the initial G code that sets the startup temperature, which is not getting the right value. But yeah, anyways, I think we're still getting the result. Even though it might not be the perfect one, but it's going to be some result that's recognizable as a hammer. It's the tooth hammer. Yeah, there's obviously, there could be some skipping going on. The filament is also quite under stress in a way that it's really pulling hard. And it's also like the acceleration of the extruder is, maybe the acceleration of the extruder is also a little bit too high, because it's always like rattling on the filament spool, and potentially that is causing resistance. But we're already like printing the upper layers of the handle, and I'm probably gonna fish the hammer parts very soon. Can someone highlight that on Twitch? Okay. So we're almost done. Probably just a couple of minutes left for the last remaining sections of the hammer. It's doing pretty well. I've probably just 2-3 minutes left. Yeah, it's pretty loud, but I think that the noise level is more, it's not so much about the actual fans or something, it's really the vibrations that's causing against anything that you're standing on, and so that is going to create a lot of noise. The earthquake hammer, okay. Almost done. I can imagine this hammer is not very stable, however. It's probably not so rigid. Yeah, coming to an end. Last couple of layers. And we're done. So let's have it cooling down 1-2 minutes. The bed temperature is coming down. I think the reason why it didn't use the right temperature is definitely the initial G code doesn't get the temperature correctly. Just a guess, I'm gonna test that out. So I guess now we're done with printing and it's already pretty late, but we are going to do our little giveaway. We don't have so many entries here. So if you didn't yet do your, didn't yet enter into the giveaway, please, if you're on Twitch, I'm gonna show you how. Didn't yet do it yet. Ticket. So you can always send the ticket command, and ticket max is going to enter all of your tickets into the giveaway. But you can also select how many. So is the hammer already releasing? No, it's not yet. It's not yet. It's too hot, but we'll wait a second. And then you can say ticket max, so exclamation mark ticket max, or exclamation mark ticket space a number, which will give you, which make it possible for you to enter a specific number. And if you just hit exclamation mark nozzles, that will tell you how many you have, and that's only working on Twitch. And that's just for everyone who's wondering why is this not working. If I do this in the YouTube chat, not ticker max, ticket max. If you do this in YouTube chat, it doesn't work in YouTube, so it only works on the Twitch chat. I'm gonna say this every single time we stream. Yeah, one ticket. Having a hard time entering your tickets. Almost. I see. So Spline is also entering. Currently at 5 people here. The probability, that's the great stuff about this little community here. The probability to win something in a live stream is 20% for these people, roundabout, because everyone has kind of a very similar amount of nozzles entered. So it's very likely, like, where do you get this, honestly, right? Where do you get this kind of probability to get something for free? If you're in a group of, I don't know, currently 16, 19 people watching, right? It's probably very rare. Okay, gonna put it's a good idea. Let's put the hammer in the box. Because I'm gonna print the hammer anyways, gonna print it again with maybe some more conservative settings, a little bit slower, so we have a little bit of a, I would say I want a higher quality hammer. I want a high quality hammer. Maybe you can also print it with ABS on this printer. It's also maybe something we should do that fits better the overall structure and theme of the printer, that it should be done with ABS. I hope I can get the supports of the hammer without breaking it. So far it looks good, but it's definitely has some issues with under extrusion. Still, I will put it into the box, so you have a nice, say, you have a nice present and a reminder about our evening that we had together. So can we get the rest of the supports released? I don't know yet. Yeah, it's working. It's working. Oh, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the hammer. I want to show it to you before we draw the winner. Here we go. It looks a little ugly. I think we printed too fast. And we still have a couple of issues, probably under extrusion, because that is the problem. It was definitely, I forgot to set the limits in my profile, to set it down back again to the material limits that I figured out, right? So I figured a limit of the material is actually 34 millimeters, cubic millimeters per second. And if you forget that, then it was kind of set to 200 or something for the sake of testing, then it's for sure causing issues. So the hammer goes into the little surprise box, and that's it. Then we're done. Coming back to a giveaway, last chance for you to enter. Right, we have 7 people in the live stream. If you didn't enter yet, last chance to do it. Right, you read the rules. By the way, if we figure that someone is winning, yeah, you have to 3D Medic wins. You have to be watching on Twitch. That's the condition. Right, so you have to go watch the stream from Twitch and not on YouTube, because otherwise you cannot earn the virtual loyalty points. That's only working on Twitch. That's how it works. And then you can enter into the giveaway by using Ticketmax. But don't worry if you missed it tonight. We're gonna do all kinds of giveaways in the matter of the next couple of months. So we'll definitely announce the next huge end of the month, end of March giveaway. I'm gonna do this on the community page, and also on my for the YouTube followers, and also for the Twitch followers. You will get to know about it next time we stream here. It's gonna be next week, and yeah, then you can watch the stream on Twitch and earn the nozzles, and then decide if you are interested in the specific giveaway to enter into the giveaway your nozzles. So I'm gonna close it in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Close the giveaway, and we're drawing a winner. Should we do drum roll? Should we do drum roll? I definitely need a drum roll. Let's see, find something. Here we go. Drum roll. Okay, let me stop the music. We can do this better. We can do better. We can do better. Okay, let's do a drum roll. And the winner is, I don't believe it. Oh my goodness, how is this possible? How is this possible? Honestly, I don't understand this. How is this possible? This shit is rigged. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Mark as complete. Giveaway complete. Can you see it on a public page? Is it published? Okay. Why I'm laughing is actually that Alexander did win last week. But I mean, this is unbelievable. The thing is that I mean, that's probably the problem, because we have still not enough people entering into the giveaways, right? That's the thing. I have no control over this, honestly. It's not set up in any way. Now the thing is, if you have only 5 people, like the probability is 20% or something, and you like very similar amounts of nozzle entered. So it's like, why? Yeah, it's probably how it is. We should definitely have more people watching the stream in the future. Probably I need to do a little bit about it. Like I need to do something about it and have it announced more appropriately in my YouTube videos, that there is giveaways on Twitch and that we do live streams. I think not enough people do know about it. I mean, for the winner here, Alexander, for you it's great. But I think in the end, we should definitely have more people watching. Ban Alexander from the next giveaway. Maybe we should do it. But is it fair? Maybe. Let's see. Or Alexander, you can also decide to give it to someone else. It's your choice. You can say, I'm gonna give it to someone else. It's up to you. You can. Your choice. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Amazing evening. Excited to upload my entry for the serial number request, and as soon as it's done, I'm gonna print a little bit of a number plate, and then that's the end of this little journey here, building the D100 printer. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It's a great project. It's probably not the best project if you did never build a printer and never use Klipper and stuff. And it's I will not participate in the next one. Okay. Good. On the other hand, looking forward to the next project. Next video is definitely going to be my X1 carbon, not X1 carbon, the K1C, the Creality K1C review. Need to push for the final. Need to push for it to finish my video review about the printer. By the way, if you I didn't tell you, but kind of like all of the modification parts except these bigger centerpieces here have been printed on the K1C, on the Creality K1C. Definitely going to mention that in the review. I think it's worth mentioning because like the results from the K1C complementing this printer, I think it's pretty nice. And had also a lot of fun using the K1C, like to do a couple of functional prints. Probably not that many like visually appealing things that I printed so far. I'm probably not going to be doing so many because it's very much a functional oriented printer for high temperature material printing, so more industrial. And yeah, watch out for that video. And I'm gonna see you next time back again, as soon as you want, as soon as possible next week latest. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye bye.